everybody, welcome to my first video on YouTube. Yay! Okay, I am so excited to be sitting here recording and being able to talk to you guys now. This has been a long time coming, and I am feeling so confident that my journey as a content creator, as a YouTuber, is now just the beginning of blossoming. So our first video is that we are going to start with a book that I just finished, and that book is called The Book of ICHIGO ICHIE, The Art of Making the Most Out of Every Moment the Japanese Way. And these are written by the creators of the best-selling book Ikigai, and it was such a read that really transformed the way that I live in the present moments now. So I will be sharing you some quotes, some inspiration, some information that I have gotten out of this book, and hopefully that will change your perception of what it means to be living in the present moment. All right, let's get started. So Ichigo Ichie is a Japanese term that translates to once, a meeting, or in this moment, an opportunity. It reminds us that what we are experiencing right now will never happen again. This video that you are watching right now will never happen again. Every passing moment is unique and never the same like my previous videos or my future videos that you will be seeing. Every person who is watching right now, the way that I'm speaking, the words that I choose to say, you at the end of watching this video will not be the same person that just started watching this video. So that just means that every single moment in our lives is infinitely valuable and deserves our full attention. It's about cherishing the present and recognizing that each moment is unique. Let me share an example that beautifully illustrates the essence of Ichigo Ichie. There's a well-known saying of monks in a monastery. When they pass by each other, they say this: "Brother, remember that one day you will die." Now, if somebody said that to me, I would have felt like, yo, you could take this one way where it's like an impending doom, or you could take another way where it's like, you're right. What will I do in my next moment? In the spirit of Ichigo Ichie, it encourages to treat each encounter as if the meeting were only to occur once in your life. It's about embracing the preciousness of the moment and making the most out of it. There is a famous quote by Herculitus that perfectly captures the essence of Ichigo Ichie. And he said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man." Just like a river, life is constantly flowing, changing. Each moment is so unique, and we are continuously evolving like that river. And embracing this concept allows us to fully immerse ourselves in the present moment and appreciates its fleeting beauty. Let's embrace Ichigo Ichie and treasure each moment as a precious gift. Remember, what we are experiencing right now will never happen again, and let's make the most out of this incredible journey that we call life. Ikigai, and its definition, is the discovery of something that we are passionate about and comes naturally to us. Finding your Ikigai is a vital step to unlocking your full potential. Now, I will be talking about my own experience of finding my Ikigai. So, I'll start from the beginning, which is I had no idea what I wanted to do when I got out of high school. I knew that I couldn't be that doctor, the lawyer, the engineer that my parents have dreamt of. The next best thing was to go to kinesiology to become a physical therapist, which was still in the realm of the medical field, which my parents were yearning for me to go to. And my group of friends in high school were also going into the medical field. So I felt like I should be following with the crowd here. I end up staying back to do a 5th year in high school to boost up my grades, and that should lead me to going to a good university. And when I finished that 5th year, I just knew this was not it. I think when I started the course, I was like, I remember why I don't want to do this anymore. I knew that I was forcing something that was going to stress me out for the next how many more years that I have to go through this. I knew this was not what I wanted to do because I was living somebody else's hopes and dreams. That's when I had my awakening, or I decided to be more aware of where my trajectory of life was going to take me. I took a risk to pursue what I wanted to do before committing to go to university or college and be in financial debt. I did a gap year and went straight into the arts. I was an artsy person, I guess, and I excelled so fast. I first started off with theater, and I was able to get into an academy that helped with my training, and I was able to perform in multiple theaters and multiple film festivals. When that summer was kind of over, I decided to pursue photography. Then I went into freelancing with the photographies. I went to free programs for youth in my city to help me develop my basic skills, also being self-taught through YouTube. Picked up my first camera and started to go shoot events, portraiture, anything that my heart desired. After a while of doing that, I pretty much hit a plateau, and now that my parents are starting to push me into going to college because my year of risking was coming up. It was about to end. So I caved in and I went into business for college and thought that, hey, business isn't everything. I can easily get a job in doing business because it's so universal. While I was doing that, that was probably a 2-year program. I ended up dropping in the last semester, and I know what you're thinking. Come on, it was your last semester. You could have finished it, but in my heart, I knew I could not. And plus, I was falling behind in so many classes, I could not just kept going. After spiraling in my despair of being a failure and giving up, I took a look at myself again and picked myself back up, and I wanted to pursue film at that time. It was very similar to photography, so I knew that, hey, maybe film jobs have more opportunities, so let's get into the camera department. I went into a 6-month intensive film training program as well as free film training programs in my city that are catered to youth. That has given me the skills to be more confident as what you will call a young up-and-coming filmmaker, which had fortunately led me to a full ride scholarship to film school. And now let's flash forward. Here I am, graduated from film school with a whole ton of field experience and recently have won an award for my own film work. Being in the arts was natural to me, and I just know that this is something that I will be doing for a very long time. And not to say that this is going to be something I'm doing for the rest of my life, but this is what I am naturally gravitated towards right now. Take the time to truly talk to yourself and think about what it is that you are passionate about or what it is that you even like. Because a lot of people are just walking around here not knowing what they even want to do, what they even like to do. And if you don't even know what you like to do, I would say you are the most luckiest person to be in this position right now. You have a chance to explore everything for the first time, and that is so exciting. Because when something finally clicks for you, it clicks and you are going to run. You're going to sprint with it. And a vital step towards unlocking your full potential is to take the first step. I will be now talking about Kika. What Kika is, it signifies the beginning of something unknown blossoming within us. It is a spark of inspiration, the seed of potential waiting to be nurtured. The importance of setting other people's demands aside to make room for our passions to blossom. I will be giving you 5 reasons as to why Kika is so important for you to start fulfilling your passions. Number 1 is authenticity and personal fulfillment. When we prioritize other people's demands over our own passions, we risk losing touch with our true selves. Our passions are a reflection of our unique interests and talents and desires. By making room for them, we honor our authentic selves and experience a deep sense of personal fulfillment. The second reason is self-discovery and growth. Allowing our passions to blossom requires self-exploration and self-discovery. Through pursuing our passions, we learn more about ourselves, our strengths, our weaknesses, what we like, what we don't like, the people that is around in that space, and our potential that we have in this situation. By setting aside other people's demands, we create our space for personal growth, for being in trial and error, for messing things up and make mistakes. Kika's 4th reason is mental health and emotional well-being. Engaging in activities that we are passionate about brings joy, satisfaction, and a sense of purpose in our lives. When we neglect our passions, we feel unfulfilled, disconnected, unsatisfied, and even stressed. Everybody knows this quote, misery loves company. There are people who are walking around or just even sitting in their own houses, just brooding over how their life is not going the way that they dreamt of. They feel that the world is moving on without them. They feel very left behind. And if everything just stops for a moment, maybe they can feel a relief of all the pressures and deadlines that they are expected to meet, ultimately leading their life as an NPC. And what an NPC is a non-playing character, which is a mindless being that lets life and society decide what their life is instead of making those decisions on their own. Misery loves company, and misery makes itself at home. A lot of people find comfort in chaos because, truthfully, I grew up in chaos and I know what it's like to be friends with chaos. I will make another video about how misery loves company because it is so real, and it disguises itself as love, as comfort, and is way too normalized in this society. When you want to pursue your passions, you are doing this because you want yourself to be happy. You feel better about yourself and the confidence that exudes in all aspects of your life. Another reason for Kika is inspiring others. Our dedication and enthusiasm can inspire those around us to explore their own interests and pursue their own dreams. By setting others' demands aside and embracing our passions, we create a ripple effect of inspiration and empowerment of our communities. Now, you can be somebody's inspiration, somebody's role model, somebody looking at you and be like, if they can do it, I can do it too. We tend to want to follow those who already paved the path. You are unique. You are unique. and specific to your demographic, and to be one of the people, or maybe even the first in your demographic, to inspire your circle. The final reason for Kika is maximizing your potential. Our passions often align with our natural talents and strengths. And by devoting that time and energy to our passions, we can develop and refine these skills, leading to mastery and excellence. When we reach our full potential in our chosen areas, we not only experience personal growth, but we make a positive impact in our fields of interest. In this whole summary, to conclude, setting aside other people's demands and making room for our passions to blossom is so essential for living a fulfilled and purpose-driven life. It allows us to embrace our authentic selves, discover our strengths and nurture our well-being, inspire others and maximizing our potential. And by prioritizing our passions, we create a life to a more meaningful and rewarding existence. Now we will need to create a space and time for nurturing our Kika, allowing it to grow and develop. It is difficult when starting out with anything, especially if it's not a natural skill. You're going to fumble the bag, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to fail, you're going to self-doubt, and this is when people tend to quit because they're making their new environment, they're making their progress of wanting to achieve their dream life so chaotic and stressful. And if you're a perfectionist like me, you want everything to be perfect before you even start. You want the best product, you want the best gear, the best content, and the best plan before you actually start. But you must cultivate a space and time to give yourself some grace for messing up and for not doing it perfectly or even on time. Let me give you an example of how you're messing this up for yourself. Do you ever criticize a baby for not being able to walk immediately or perfectly or even fast enough? Some people do, and some parents do criticize, but do you think that baby will do it any more perfectly or faster without any help? Now, when you're going into adulthood, your support group is much more smaller. Naturally, your circle starts to reduce, and many feel lonely from that, feeling like there is no support like how it was before. That's where you come into play. When no one else is there to keep pushing you, you have to do it yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. You will need to provide that loving, caring gentleness that you give to that crawling baby. You are just starting out. And so you remind yourself that you are still in the progress of something so much greater. There are going to be challenges that may arise when prioritizing our passions, but the significance of dedicating ourselves to their pursuits is unmatched. The next term is called mankai. And now what mankai is that it represents the process of that initial idea maturing and unfolding to its fullest potential. It is the journey of turning our passions into excellence. We have to set aside other people's demands to make room for our own passions and allow the reason we feel that we are put on this earth to begin to blossom. Mankai is the culmination of our efforts where we have sustained and nurtured our potential to its fullest extent. Everything you have done, from just dreaming about it, from making plans, to executing, and to keep going and maintaining consistency and commitment, blood, sweat, tears, reaching to your highest potential. The rewards and the fulfillment that you will feel that comes from reaching your mankai and experiencing the satisfaction of excelling in your chosen field. That feeling is surreal. People recognize and appreciate your efforts and admiration for your journey. You're gonna feel like you're on a high. But sometimes there are gonna be times where you won't feel the I made it moments. For example, when I graduated from my film school and I have won awards, when people show appreciation and admiration and praise for my work, there is a part of me that's expected this, that manifested this. It felt more surreal to see my dreams in real life, and yet I felt like I've already dreamt of every single scenario of how it was going to play out when it did happen. I was already just as happy and as satisfied to see that my dream is going to according to plan. Another example is that, let's say you're going to watch a movie once over again. You saw how it plays out and you expect it to happen so that when the climax arrives, it's a thrill, yet it feels familiar because you've already experienced this before. I encourage you to persevere on your journey, no matter where you are, whether you're just starting out as a beginner, whether you're doing it for a while, or you mastered that craft. I remind you that it is never too late to blossom and achieve that mankai in every aspect of your life. In conclusion, we have talked about ikigai, Kika, and mankai. Now, I will summarize everything. Ikigai is the discovery of something that we are passionate about and that comes naturally to us. The first step is to take the first step. Kika, the importance of setting aside others' demands and making room for our passions to blossom. Your emotional well-being is above everybody else's. When you thrive, everybody else does too. Mankai, the culmination of our efforts, where we have sustained and nurtured our potential to its fullest extent. Consistency is key. Progress is progress, even if it's minuscule. Because what we want to do is to strive 1% better every day. And that will accumulate over time. I encourage you to embrace your passions and prioritize your growth and never give up on your journey to mankai. I just want to remind everybody who is watching this video that I am your guide to personal development, self-love, and mental health advocacy. I am here to help people like you live a life that is true to who they are, that brings them joy, peace, fulfillment. I believe that everybody has the power to create a life that they truly desire. And my role on that journey is to support you. I believe in you, even when no one else does. I will support you in any way that I can. I want to be here with you as you are with me right now, listening, commenting, liking, subscribing. My message for you today is, and I will say this now, and I will say this forever in all of my videos, you are the chosen one. You are the chosen one. I am so grateful that you are taking the time out of your day to watch my first video here on YouTube. And I want to invite you to comment down any of your thoughts, any of your personal experiences, what resonated you throughout this entire video into the comment section. And I would love to have just that community get started with discussions. So I thank you for your time, and I encourage you again to continue your journey of self-growth and personal development.